they can expect, it's a killer rockin' blues rock record. 10 amazing tracks that I wrote over the last several years. 2 of them are co-writes. The other ones are just mine. And I've been working them in a club for the last couple of years. Yeah, it rocks. You can dance to it. It's happy music. It's stories from me about what I've been through recently and my reactions to, you know, the world the way it is now. You can tell by the gray hair that I actually have some cultured opinions, you know. Well, my 3 worlds would be like, there's the Spin Doctors world, and then there's my world, and then there's the world, which is, you know, really it's the world without musicians. You know, one thing I've realized in the last several years is that musicians think that the whole world is about them, us. And actually, most people don't think about music that much. So I try to, like, kind of react to, you know, the world outside of my realm as well. You know, juxtaposition. So, you know, it's like you see the last election, and I vote. And all this, you know, and then you see what happens, and it's a completely different story outside of the country than it is here. I mean, President Trump, he freaks people out like crazy in Canada, right? Like, I mean, he's so rude to the Canadians, first of all. I mean, and then he's really nice to, like, you know, the North Korean dude, and it's just weird, right? I'm a proud American, and, you know, I'm Canadian too, and proud, but, you know, it's scary, man. You see this stuff going on, and I've got a song about it on my record. It's called Agent Orange Blues. Need I say more? I like them all. I think probably my favorite track is probably the title track, Who Shot John, because it's a funny little story that I started writing years and years ago, and I didn't know what it meant. But it kept on coming up in my head, Who Shot John at the Mardi Gras. I was in a Zydeco band actually here in New York. And I had that line, and I had the basic song, but it wasn't till last year. I was working with one of my partners up in Memphis, Cody Dickinson, and we were recording electric washboard on the song, because he plays electric washboard. And he says to me, what's the track called? And I said, it's called Who Shot John? And he says, shit, man, my dad used to say that all the time, right? Like, as in, like, don't give me that Who Shot John. Just tell me what, you know, just tell me what it is I want, you know, what's really going on, you know. And so that's really what I think is my favorite song, you know, for that reason, because, you know, this is a good time to say what's really going on. Now, Who Shot John is a lighthearted, you know, sort of a song about something that doesn't really happen. Guy gets shot, but he doesn't really get shot. He's okay now. We have a party, we dance, we sing. And at the end, there's like a recapitulation, you know, and it's a when I die, you know, I hope my soul goes to a place as good as this place where I am right here having such a great time, you know, because, you know, you don't want to waste your time in hell. You want to, if you want to get to heaven, don't waste your time in hell. Well, Spin Doctors is like, you know, it's got a great big footprint, you know, from the 90s, Spin Doctors does. And so, and because we have the hits, you know, we had 2 Princes, Little Miss Can't Be Wrong, Jimmy Olsen Blues. There's a couple of other ones that were in the top 40 as well. And so, you know, that's more, it's sort of more tried and true. And we have that sort of 30 years ballast behind us, sort of an amazing amount of confidence, and we can just sort of arrive somewhere and hit and, you know, have an audience and, you know, people recognize the song. So that's pretty much obviously the difference. As opposed to what I do is, I actually started the Spin Doctors with Chris years ago, and what I do is more like what we were doing then, yeah? So it's more like, you know, go to a club, I don't care if there's 2 people or the place is packed, and you know, just give it your all and play all night long. Yeah, I like it, man, because, you know, it's sort of like I get to really decide what the arrangement is. I can change it on the spot if I want to, and then it's given me a chance to kind of tell some stories, to try to draw some lyrics out. I don't write lyrics really fast. They just come to me, or maybe, like I said, it takes me years to like finish a lyric. So, you know, it's good. I can take it at my own pace. But mostly it's the live thing. I can go back and I can play out live. I love playing live. So, when you're playing live, you can you're sort of sharing your reaction. Like I was saying, take that song for example. You're sharing your reaction to something, and somebody that sees you doing that live, they're going to relate to you. Like, if you're really being sincere, if you're really putting it out there straight, I think people, they get drawn in. They say, typically somebody will say to me, man, you look like you're having such a good time, you know, and that's so I draw them in, right? And then you can sort of, you know, work that a little bit, right? And there's a little piece of the divine in there. there's a little connection live where, you know, you go down there, you sort of feel like you touch the stone, the root, you know? That's what it is for me.